55% of the population have access to electricity in Nigeria. Nigeria is a big country. There's a lot of remote areas. So really it's mostly the cities as of today that have it. And extending power to those remote areas is really expensive. Well, the reality is that everybody wants to enjoy the best in life. So you see a lot of migration, of people, from the rural areas into the city. That is, you have plenty of power. Also, employment opportunities, it will be very limited in the remote location. You have to stay work on the farm, but by coming into the city, there's opportunities for them. And if we begin to supply power, to those remote locations, that difference will begin to happen, where people don't necessarily need to leave their locality. Yeah, really, the reality, I think you have like residential, there are different categories. And the more you use, the more you pay. That's the structure, of the tariff. But overall, even though that is the case, the expectation is that as more power comes, the operational cost of the companies would not increase substantially, but there will be more energy to sell. So in which case, overall, we expect to see a decline in tariff as more power becomes available into the grid. Well, first of all, I will say retaining the PTFP and the quality of staff and supporting them. That to me is very key. Secondly, there are studies that needs to be done. I know, one thing I've mentioned several times is the low demand study. And I'm made to understand that there are some donors that are looking at that. So that is very important, for us to design the network and make sure that the issue of the demand is met, in line with, the infrastructure that we're building is tailored to meeting demand. And also it will enable us to optimize the use of any fund that we have. In transmission, the capacity is limited. There will be money, there will be need for money, to fund the investment. And that is still in government hands. So it's something that would be required. Then the issue of, capacity development, generally across the board. One of the shortfalls of the industry is that after a while, they stopped employing people. And so there's been a gap. So there's been no succession plan. So the generation has gone, no new generation to take over. So capacity development, even the likes of NAPTIN, working with the donors is an area that I believe there could be opportunities for development. And I don't know how much money the donors have, but I'm sure, as new power plants begin to come up, they may require some funding and financing. And this is an area also that we would need assistance. But I will say that the market will be right. And once the market is right, the fear of even people recovering investment, should begin to be a thing of the past. One of the best decisions that Nigeria has taken of recent is to go to carry out the reform. And the foundation, for its realization has been laid. The fruit is beginning to yield. And so I will say that they need to be patient, and it is not an indefinite patience, because the future is brighter than the past.